Thursday, guys. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Welcome to phase 2 of what Steffi said. Every time I say phase whatever, I seriously think of like Marvel phases. Somebody asked me the other day how those work. I don't really know, but we're gonna try not to babble. If you have seen Endgame though, leave an emoji in the comments below on how you feel about it. I'm still not over it and I keep talking about it, and I'm probably gonna be talking about it for a while, guys, because I'm like that emotionally wrapped up in a movie. It's probably bad. So today, for our first like Ask Savvy conversation, except for nobody's asked me yet. Well, actually one of my friends did ask me, so she's gonna be our first Ask Savvy. It's all about affirmations. We're doing the daily affirmations on Instagram stories for this month. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, if you guys aren't aware. I wasn't aware until recently, so thank you to the friend who pointed that out. But one of my friends recently asked me how I decide on my affirmations, and I feel like they're very personal. So what I might need to affirm in my life and to speak into my life might be different than yours, but they kind of stem from the same place, and I feel like you can take those reasons and the tools and the meaning behind each one and apply it to your life as well. So I wanted to break down why I pick my affirmations, and maybe that'll help you figure out what affirmations you want to speak into your life. So one of the big reasons that I pick affirmations, and it tends to be what makes them the most fluid for me, is that I normally pick things that help me with a problem. So I have a habit of journaling every morning. That has become a very critical part of my day in the last month or two. And for me, if I go in having a certain thought process, maybe I'm stuck on something and I feel like I need to think past that moment. Maybe I feel like I've had a conversation with a friend, which I did have a conversation with a friend a couple months ago, that my affirmations were a big help for. And that was, you know, there was a bit of self-doubt sneaking in from that. And so for me, I use my affirmations to kind of combat that. I see them as the alternative to certain problems sometimes, and just helping me have that mental strength to kind of push through them. So maybe for you, you're struggling with self-worth right now. Maybe that's like, you look at your life and you say, I feel like I'm not worthy. I feel like I'm not beautiful. I feel like I'm this. I feel like I'm that. Then finding affirmations that make you feel empowered and speaking them over yourself is going to be key, because then you can start to change your mindset on that. And it's a little at a time, and it's not like you're going to be like, today I feel like Beyonce. If you feel like Beyonce, girl, you do you, and that is awesome. But feeling like that every day, sometimes you have to rely on your affirmations and reaffirming that for yourself, and just saying over and over and over again, I am worthy. I am worthy of being loved. I am worthy of my dreams. I am, insert whatever you feel like you need to be worthy of. But picking that like point and kind of diving from there, what are you struggling with, and how can you affirm that in your life? Maybe you just feel overwhelmed by debt. You feel like there's never enough money. So maybe you need to speak, I am financially abundant, into your life. Maybe that is the thing that you need to reassure yourself of, and just focus on the positive side rather than the negative side. Because if you're wanting to attract that positive energy into your life, then you need to be focusing on that positive energy. But I feel like the biggest thing for me in that is, honestly, sometimes they're very, like I said, they're very fluid for me. I have things that I speak over myself every day, but there are some times where I just have to remind myself that I am strong, that maybe I am working towards my goals, that I am doing certain things that are pushing me forward. Not so much that, like, you know, I could look at everything in a negative light. That's not what affirming things is about. Affirming things is about being positive. And so having that mindset of, I am growing stronger, or I am making steps towards my goal, or I am strong, I am powerful, whatever you need to kind of lift yourself up, that is my first reason for about 97% of my affirmations. My second set is normally to help me focus. So I read Rachel Hollis's Girl Stop Apologizing. There's a review on the blog, and I feel like I got like the 10 years, 10 dreams, 1 goal thing was very helpful for me as a person. It's just been part of my day to really write those goals down. But sometimes I feel like I need to reaffirm specific parts of that, because obviously those are a little bit farther out for me. So one of mine is just to be healthy, fit, and strong. That is one of my like 10-year, 10 dreams, one goal kind of things. And so some days I just have to remind myself in my goal setting and like working towards that I am growing stronger every day, that I am making choices that honor my body. Like whatever it is that you need to tell yourself and to remind yourself of the progress that you are making and to help keep you focused on the goal is what you need to write down. So maybe you are working on paying off debt and you're, you need to speak into your life. I am good with a budget. I know how to manage my money. I am capable of spending within my limits. I am, maybe part of the reason that you dig into this and you realize that I'm buying to keep up with everybody else. And so that becomes a part of your budget and your financial stuff. And maybe it's also money, but it's also self-worth. And it's, I'm worthy of being loved exactly where I am and exactly as I am. So look at your goals, look at what you're trying to push forward in your life, and then kind of deep dive back from there. How do you need to reaffirm that in your day? What do you need to remind yourself specifically with certain goals that you feel like you're struggling with? Sometimes I think when I get really impatient with a goal, giving myself that like small affirmation and reminding myself of the progress that I'm making and where I'm at and how much I've already come is very helpful in keeping me focused on the task at hand. Speaking of which, one of my like notes for that one was that I am focused on the task at hand. And I tend to, in my journal every day, when it comes to like focusing myself, my focus bits are kind of the last thing that I do that kind of set me up for my tone of the day. So affirming things that I am focused. I know what I'm doing today. It's gonna be a great day. I'm going to get a lot accomplished. Whatever it is that I need to like hype myself up for, which is number 3, is what I'm doing in my affirmations. So whatever I need to really kind of gear myself and tunnel vision myself to like bullet train into the day is what I use my affirmations for. Goal focus, keeping me in that mindset of here's where I am and here's where I'm going, and I know the path that I'm on. So the last way that I use them, and is one of my favorite ways to use them, is to be my own hype girl. One of my friends is super great at being a hype gal, and she loves it. She loves nothing more than to cheer her friends on, and I'm a lot of the same way. It makes me so happy when I see my friends crushing it and moving forward and getting all of these things that they've worked for. But I feel like sometimes, depending on where you're at in that journey, you just might feel like you want to keep things quiet for a while and you need to be your own hype person. So depending on what you feel like you need to hype yourself up for will depend on what affirmations you choose. Sometimes it's just giving myself compliments, being like, I did awesome this morning in the gym. I am strong. I am going to own this. I am going to, insert whatever chosen hype you need for yourself. It's also the opportunity to kind of speak life into yourself. So you have friends who just, when you come out of those conversations, you feel empowered, you feel better, you feel like you can take that energy into your day. And using your affirmations is a great way to do that for yourself. Maybe in a quicker span of time, or maybe if you're out on the go and you feel like you're struggling with something, I feel like affirmations are really a great way to help build stronger mental walls and just kind of reinforce that. Those are the tools that you can kind of reach for when you feel like you're struggling with something and you don't want that negative thought or that negative aspect or whatever it is that's going to steer you down the wrong path to come into your mind, and you have that affirmation, you've used it so much you can speak it. If you're like me, sometimes I just need to write it out over and over and over again until I'm back in that place and I believe it. But use it to be your own hype girl, you use it to motivate yourself, use it to kind of push you forward and give you that extra boost of energy, and it will become a habit and you'll start reaching for it all of the time, and then it'll be a habit that you're telling everybody else about because you're just so excited about it. And that's what I'm telling you guys. So yeah, those are the ways that I use affirmations, the 3 big ways. If you aren't already following me on Instagram, like I said, come hang out over there. We're doing an affirmation a day, and there will be a Monday motivation video coming up very, very soon, the very first one. So yeah, I love you guys. You matter to me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.